With so much to love, Maruti Suzuki appears to be the perfect brand. There seems to be nothing wrong with it. Yet, do you know why someone would not buy a Maruti Suzuki? Stick around to find out. Back in the 1980s, as some of you might remember, owning a car was a prestige symbol. Not every family would own a car, and the families that did were looked upon differently by the society. Of course, they were looked up to. Owning a car was seen as having a treasure. Maruti Suzuki back then was a highly respected brand. It still is to this day, just not as much, and I'll get to that in a second. Maruti Suzuki kind of defined the Indian automobile industry, and for the majority of us became the aspiration. It soon became synonymous with the word car. Back in 1997, the company had 80% market share, which means 8 out of 10 cars sold were Maruti Suzuki. Soak that in for a second. It was the brand that India loved. It was the obvious choice. And today the company has about 50% market share. That means every second car is a Maruti Suzuki. But why is the market share still so high? I'll give you 3 reasons. First, the brand has huge emotional value in the minds of Indian customers. In majority of Indian families, the first car is always a Maruti Suzuki. It is the car on which we learn to drive, the car we can abuse, and also the car that we deeply care for. The car for long drives, and the car to tell the world we are progressing. The first car India buys is a Maruti Suzuki hatchback. Did you know Sachin Tendulkar still owns the Maruti 800 that he bought in the 1980s? Yes, the first car is always the first car. The second reason is trust. Maruti is the 9th most trusted brand in the country. But why do we trust it so much? You see, the cars are quite reliable, the engines are decent, and if you're looking for a simple machine to go from point A to B, or a car for your weekend family trips, Maruti is perfect for you. The cars are easy to maintain and the parts are not expensive. Almost any mechanic in the country can do the servicing and repairs. You can jumpstart the car by giving it a push. You see, there are ways of Indian jugaad around Maruti Suzuki cars. The cars are not expensive and you won't need to break a bank to buy the car. They are affordable and quite value for money. And lastly, the cars give great mileage. There's nothing that can beat Maruti Suzuki in terms of gasoline mileage. And there is so much to love with the car, it's difficult to find faults. It's the best choice for most of us. They're also seen as a safe choice. If you're a first-time car buyer, chances are you will place your bets on the Maruti Suzuki because you don't know much about the cars and everyone else has a Maruti. They're also seen as a safe choice because they give great resale value. That means if you're looking to buy a used car, you're more likely to buy, well, you guessed it. If Maruti Suzuki cars are so good, then why don't we all just buy them? Why do we even consider other cars? In the last 2 decades, the company has seen significant drop in the market share. That means each year there are more people opting to buy other car brands. But why? Every coin has 2 sides, so let's flip it over and see the other side of the story. Well, of course, these cars are not the safest, the build quality is not industry leading, and the cars are not premium enough. You see, back in the 1980s, when Maruti Suzuki announced the Maruti 800, the car had a huge appeal. And then there came about Contessa and Ambassador by Hindustan Motors. And these 2 cars were the titans of the automobile industry. Then Tata Motors entered with Tata Sierra. Within a span of 7 years, the industry had seen a hatchback, a sedan, an SUV, and a weird looking car, which we really can't define till this day. Let's just call it iconic. And thereafter, the influx of foreign brands like Toyota, Honda, Mercedes, etc. The aspirations continued, and the young Indian wanted to taste bigger and better cars. In early 2000s, having a car would command respect. It would announce to the world your achievements in life. For most of us, having a Honda City would be the end goal of life. And now look at us, where we are. The aspirations have gone through the sunroof. We buy a car when we land at our first job. We buy the second car before we hit 30. And every few years, we keep upgrading to the extra bling of chrome. Why are we upgrading? It's because we have aspirations. We want to drive something different. And if I were to explain the cause of this decline in one word, it would be aspiration. While Maruti Suzuki as a brand is improving each year, there are more and more people who are done with it, who now want something better, something different. It's almost as if they start to dissociate with the brand. And this is the cause of decline. Maruti Suzuki, if you are watching this, you know what to do. Having Nexa or Arena won't help. Calling Ciaz as the luxury car won't help. You have the engineering capability. You have the trust of people. Make something better. Maybe a premium brand that sits above Maruti Suzuki. No matter what we do, we can't talk Indians out of Maruti Suzuki or vice versa. It remains as India's favorite car for the next decade, unless we do something fast. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel for more such amazing content. Let me know in the comments below if you have additional point of view on Maruti Suzuki, and also watch the other videos here. Thank you.